Today I want to talk about aim training, more specifically to answer the question, does aim training actually help you improve at games? The short answer is yes, and the long answer is kind of. Before we click off, let me explain my reasoning. It depends on what type of games you play and their mechanics. For example, a game like R6 is a first-person shooter and is heavily reliant on reactivity and small flicks to get kills. Unlike a game like Marvel Rivals, which is a third-person shooter and relies more on tracking with a much higher time to kill. Both of these games involve being good at aim to get kills, but that's only one part of the whole equation. There are lots of other skills like positioning, team composition, utility usage, and game sense that all factor into your overall performance in the game. Someone who has really good aim but lacks in every other area will be outperformed by someone who has mediocre aim and well-rounded mechanics. Think of it like that one big guy at the gym that has a massive bulky upper body but hasn't hit leg day in 3 years. So he looks like he's walking on toothpicks. It looks off and isn't as aesthetic as someone who's putting the time and effort to balance out their physique. This relates back to aiming because if you only train aim and just use it as a crutch for every situation, you'll be like that one guy at the gym with a big upper body and a small lower body. And vice versa, if you neglect aim training altogether and just play the game over and over and over, you would run into the same issue. There needs to be a balance between the two. That's not to say that aim on its own isn't valuable. It can help build those foundational skills in game much easier. The reason being you don't have to focus on it as much and you can dial in on your mechanics. I've personally had this happen to me over the past month or so. One of my friends really got me into Marvel Rivals, but I was really reluctant because I had never played Overwatch and I knew all the sweats would rotate over to this new game. My lack of experience paired with the knowledge of knowing how many hours some of these people put into Overwatch made me extremely nervous to get on. But with some aim training experience under my belt, I was able to learn the game fairly quickly and reach platinum by solo queuing. I didn't have to focus on my aim nearly as much, and I just stuck with the character I thought was fun, and I learned the basics over time. Aim training has helped ease the transition from game to game, and I feel it's foundational in its own right. But like I mentioned earlier, aiming is only one part of the whole and has diminishing returns. So you're only as strong as your weakest link. So if you struggle to aim in games but have good foundational mechanics, you'll benefit more from aim training. So by rounding out everything, this will just make you better than 90% of the players. But anyways, that's the end of the video. Have a blessed day. Goodbye.